What's up, YouTube? This week we're diving into the Game Boy Color and asking the big question, is it really worth modding one in 2025? I grabbed this Game Boy Color at Rad Junk's trade night last month for just $70, and honestly, it's in pretty good shape. Usually when I mod a handheld, I'm working with something that's totally busted, cracked screens, burnt out screens, crusty buttons, you name it. And then what I'll do is I'll reshell it, put a new screen in it, and hopefully flip it for a little bit of profit. But this one doesn't need a thing. It is in really, really great shape. But even still, with modern IPS screens and custom shells, even this 25-year-old handheld can feel brand new. So in this video, we're going to break down the mods and whether it's actually worth your time and money in 2025. So let's grab our screwdrivers, our sense of adventure, and let's void some warranties. First thing we're going to do is tear this bad boy down and take a look at what we're working with. Right here, we've got two different options for our Game Boy Color. So FunnyPlaying Q5, this Q5 IPS screen is really nice. It's the one I prefer because it already has the bezel overlaid on it, and you can actually change the color of the logo down here once you get it installed. But the downside to this kit is it will not fit inside the original housing without modifications. This screen, on the other hand, is a high-speed DOE kit, and it will actually fit inside the housing, and it comes with alignment brackets. See if I can get it sort of set up in here. It comes with alignment brackets that sort of fill the void because it is a little bit smaller than the original screen. And then you just maintain using the same bezel. For today's project, I'm going all out and I'm using the FunnyPlaying IPS screen, but I will, if it's something that you're interested in, you'd like to see an original shell be used with just an upgraded screen, sort of a minimalistic upgrade, let me know. And I can go through and we can run through setting one of these up in the future. So pretty straightforward. But for today's video, we're going to use this FunnyPlaying Q5 set and see where we end up. Okay, this is the shell we're going to use, and kind of like I was talking about, you can see the difference between the two shells. So this is all cleared out down here on the bottom on the aftermarket shell, whereas this one would have to be trimmed. So we're going to save this case because I think one of those other screens will look really good in it. So we're going to hold on to this one for a future mod for sure. But here, this is there's some prep work you have to do to get this ready for the screen. And some of the things we need to do is we need to run leads from these two lines here, select and start. And then we also need to run a lead from the power switch that's going to power our board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 10 these 3 points. It also comes with stickers that isolate. This is a metal backplate, so we don't want this to short out on the board, so we're going to actually cover it with this. And then there's this small strip here, right here, that's actually going to go right on this strip underneath the color, because in clear shells like the one we're going to use, we kind of have to let's see, let me get this. So I'm not going to set all that down, so I'm going to crunch my ribbon cable, but see, we're going to be able to see that through there. So FunnyPlaying gave us this sort of sticker to put over there to kind of cover that up. So that's what we're going to go with. So I'm going to go ahead and 10 on my leads, and then we'll take a look at the board, and I'll go ahead and do my prep, put all my stickers on, and we'll take a look at the board as to where we need to attach those connections. And move forward. All right, so it comes with 3 leads. There's 2 longer leads that are for your start and select buttons. And then there's 1 shorter lead that's for the power input. So now that we have that, I think we can go ahead and put the screen in its shell. And getting the screen in the shell it's a little tricky because it has a you actually insert it from the outside. So you want to take this part and sort of lip it down under, but then on your ribbon cable you want to feed that all under this protection piece on the back here for the cartridge slot. So kind of have to work that under. And then once you have those under, tilt it up and get the screen set underneath, just like so. And that is going to be what we look like. But the kit does come with, oh, sorry, there is an adhesive strip that I didn't take off. So let me do that. All right, once again, I was just practicing the first time. Go down in here, raise up the back and into place. Make sure that what is happening is not happening. Make sure we're nice and free on the back there. And then really these shells their fit is so perfect. That's why I love them. I really do. I almost never modify a case anymore. If I find a Game Boy or any handheld for that matter that's in really good shape, I just don't modify it. I just leave it as it was because it's just so difficult to trim the case and get that good, nice fit and finish that you're looking for. So this, I think I'm just going to stick this here temporarily. I might end up moving that tape down here to this part, but for now I'm just going to leave it like that. So that's what we got. There's a screen protector on here. That's the bubble you see. In the middle, we'll pull that off later. So now we can move over to where these points are going to solder on our motherboard. Okay, the points that we're going to use for start and select are vias right here in the upper section of the motherboard. It's going to be blurry on here, but I'm going to put a photo up to show you real close. So there are points up here and there are points down by select and start that you can use as well. I like using the vias that are up here. Vias are simply pass-throughs on a motherboard used for test points and modding. Probably not what Nintendo originally intended, but I digress. So I'm going to use the points up here, and like I said, I'll give you a nice picture of what that looks like. Okay, with start and select set up, now we can put together our shell. Do not use too much pressure when putting these screws in. Remember, it's new plastic you're going into, so be very careful. I'm threading this in. These 3 points are very important because this is all the backing for your button presses. Without this, the buttons would be mush. Power line is going to go to this C point right down on the switch. Just going to add some solder there. So now I want to test kind of my progress, see where I'm at. So I am going to hook up the old benchtop power supply. These consoles run off AA batteries, and AA batteries are 1.5 volts. So we're going to set our power supply for 3 volts. On the output. And up the screen. Hey, looking good. Looking real good. I'm telling you, you can't beat it. Okay, and then just make sure we're good with the game. A much larger screen too with this FunnyPlaying mod, so it's kind of cool. When I'm putting my case together, remember all these points are sort of, it's fresh plastic. It's never been threaded into. So I start off real slow. If I get any resistance at all, I back off, because the last thing I want to do is break off one of those screw points. It'll pretty much ruin the entire case, short of some miracle surgery. So I get them all started, make sure everything's aligned right. If it's really giving me a hard time, sometimes I'll add a little heat to the tip of the screw. Will actually help it cut into the new plastic more. I also find that if you can use the original screws from the Game Boy and not these new screws that are provided, the original screws seem to be better quality, hold up a little better, cut into the plastic better. I don't know. I always try to stick with using the original screws if I can, and then I hold on to those other ones as a backup for another project one day. And then once you feel resistance, that's it. You do not have to cinch them down very hard at all. You just want to make sure that it holds the case together. Make sure all our edges are lined up good, and we can keep going. That looks pretty good. Men in Black is literally the only Game Boy Color game I have. I gotta head up Rad Junk, see if I can get something else. All right. There we go. Ooh, he's looking good. Looking good. Okay, now you can see down here, it was white earlier. It's changed to blue. So we've got our touch sensor on the top, and that changes our brightness. And changing the brightness now is kind of nice, because in darker environments, you don't want it super bright. And another thing you find out is that it can eat up your battery time too. So do it right there. Now, if you hold down the touch sensor, it'll bring up this display. And the first setting on the display, on the on-screen display, is bright. And then with your select buttons, you can go up and start. I'm sorry, select goes down, start goes up. And then to switch to the next section, you just hold the touchpad. Now we're on display type. So you can add scan lines however you like, or if you don't like scan lines, you can go that way too. So I'll go with no scan lines for now. The frame, that's just setting up your frame, and if you needed a frame, we don't need a frame here, so we're good. Logo color. This is the fun part right here. So we can change our logo colors with their preset ones that they have built in here, or we can actually go over and change the RGB of the color and get it looking right. So, I mean, sky's the limit here. Let's go funky though. Let's see here. I kind of like the red. I liked the red. So select goes down. I don't know if you can see that on screen display or not, but select goes down. 22. It's not the best. There we go. 21. Seems cool. Go with the red. Let's go with red. That'll work. But if you did have a specific RGB code, you just come over here and you can actually change your RGB to make it any color you'd want. And then hold it down and you're back out of it. This screen upgrade completely transforms the Game Boy Color. It's brighter, sharper, and just feels like a whole new handheld. The screen runs about $50, and the replacement shell is another $10 from the FunnyPlaying website. I'll drop a link in the description. In my opinion, this mod is totally worth it, but I want to know what you think. Would you spend the time and money modding a working Game Boy Color that's already in great shape? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you love retro gaming, hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss our next crazy mod.